Hey there, I'm Zimnoch, and in this episode, we're going to talk about how to make a wise decision as a private lender. In investing, rehabbers usually borrow money. A lot of times they borrow private money. And what I find is that there's a lot of people lending, and it could be anyone. It could be your friend, it could be yourself, it could be a doctor you go to see. They are potentially becoming lenders. Well, in this episode, I want to talk to you about 10 things that you should do before you agree on lending to someone and make a very wise decision. So let's start with number one. Number one is don't let the high interest and the points that are being offered just create this excitement, which literally is the only reason how you make your decision. In other words, I've seen this happen before, where a rehabber brings the opportunity to a lender and they offer a really good interest rate. Let's just say it's 12%, and they might offer a point or two. Well, that sounds really good when you compare it to what people are getting in the stock market. And I've seen people make a decision solely on that and lend. Don't do that, right? Yes, that's good, but don't let that be the only reason of why you decide to lend. Number two, what position is being offered? What position are you in? Are you going to be in a first position? Are you going to be in a second position or a third position? And when I talk about positions, that means how is the lien going to be recorded? Usually, as an example, when a rehabber borrows money from a hard money lender, that hard money lender will usually be in first position. And ultimately, you want to be in first position if you can, but in most cases, if you're a private lender, you will probably be second or third, hopefully not fourth or fifth. I actually don't even recommend that. But that's important because the position that you're in is how you will gonna get paid when the property sells. So if there's no money left over for the third lender, guess what? The first and second gets paid and the third doesn't. Right? Can't get into all the details in this because by now you probably understand positioning, but that's just a brief explanation. Third, I would like you to ask, who are the lenders? So find out, okay, so if this is my position, is there anyone in front of me? Is there anyone behind me? Who are those people, right? Find that out because that will help you make a wiser decision later when you actually agree to lend. I'll tell you in a future episode on what to do with that. Number four, find out if a profit share is being offered. I have seen this where a rehabber approaches a private lender and will actually offer them a profit share in the deal. Meaning, hey, listen, you could lend the money. I'm not actually going to pay you interest, but in return, what I'm willing to do is I'm going to give you a profit share of the deal when we sell it. Well, if that's the case, I would consider that more of a joint venture, and that's a whole different agreement. And one thing to remember in that agreement is that usually the way it should be, to make it fair, is that if the deal makes money and there's profits, and let's just say you're splitting it, if the deal loses money, you have to be ready to bring the difference to the table. So just be careful on that. I would recommend, if you're a private lender, lend, but do it with an interest, right? And be truly passive, not do a joint venture. Number five, remember, nothing is guaranteed. Let me say this again. Nothing is guaranteed, okay? The reason I say this, because I see this word being thrown around quite a bit, that rehabbers are guaranteeing you X, guaranteeing you that. Nothing is guaranteed in lending. It is a risk. You might lose money, right? Just like anything else. What I know that some rehabbers are doing is that they might say, hey, let me borrow X amount of money for 4 months, but I'm going to guarantee you 6 months of interest. That still does not mean that they will guarantee you that they will definitely pay you everything back. All they're saying is that we'll pay you 6 months of interest even if we hold your money for only 4 months. Does that make sense? I hope so. If not, research that more. Number six is Google the person and the company that you're going to be lending to, right? Simple, yet so many people don't do that. you'll be surprised what you find online about people. Then go on Facebook, check their profile, see what they're posting. You might find some really good stuff, which usually is the case, where people post a lot of positive things on social media and not anything negative, because the life is amazing for everyone. However, there's a certain few people out there that will post their opinions in a very, very strong ways, and you might not agree with it. Well, think about it. Do you want to do business with that person? If you have difference of opinions, up to you to decide, but please Google them, check the company, check reviews if there are any, check if there's any complaints online. Number 7 is look at projects. And what I mean by that is, hopefully that rehabber, it's not their first project. So if they have done projects, or maybe they're in the middle of projects, well, ask, hey, can I go check out some of your projects? Go and look, get involved and understand how their process is. What are the finishes? How are they doing it? Who are the contractors? Like, just kind of start to understand and see, are they really good at what they're promising you that you're going to be lending on the next project? And then number 8, get references from their other lenders. So ask, hey, it seems like you've done some projects. Who are the lenders on those projects? Can I talk to them? Simple. References. Ask. See what the experience was for the other lenders. Were they on time when they said they were going to finish the project? Were there a lot of delays? Did the lender get paid exactly what was promised? Was that on time? Ask all these questions once you get the references. And number 9 is actually the only one that would actually cost you money on my list. And it's looking up the person again, but not just on Google, but actually through a paid service. One of those, as an example, is truthfinder.com. It will cost you about $27 a month to have access to it, and you can then pull records on someone and get very, very detailed information from phone numbers, emails, criminal records, judgments, family that they're related to. I mean, it goes pretty deep. And it's almost like an insurance. What's, $27 a month? Think about it. If you're lending $50,000, $100,000, $200,000, what's $27 to go and just take that extra step and research someone further than just Google? And number 10, the final point, probably the most important, because the other ones are all kind of checking out the person and getting all the references and getting your all the ducks in a row just to make that decision. But then you have to actually make a decision on the project. So please do your due diligence. That's number 10. What does that really mean? Ask, okay, what are the purchase costs? What is it going to cost you to buy this property? I ask to see an actual estimated closing statement that they might have. Second, ask for the scope of work. What is the scope of work for that project? Ask for the estimate from a contractor for that scope of work. And the last thing under due diligence is actually looking at the comparables and finding out, okay, is there after repair value, or whatever the value is of the property once it's finished that they're giving you, does that really make sense? And does it check out based on your own analysis? And I encourage you to please drive the comparables. Check out the other properties. How do they compare to the subject? Right? Because I'm guessing the rehabber is going to give you a package, and that package is going to have those comparables. So go and look at them. Get involved. It's your money on the line, right? And then also find out who is their agent that's going to be selling that property. Ask that simple question, because I found this over and over again, where a rehabber has some rookie agent who's never done any deals, never sold a property, is all of a sudden now selling their house because it's their sister or their aunt or their friend from college that has a license and they're trying to save money. So please ask, who is it? And then look them up. Are they a professional realtor? And maybe ask, like, what's the marketing plan on the sales side of this property when it's rehabbed, right? Because that's when the money is being realized for the rehabber and you, the lender, that's waiting patiently for the interest. Got it? And that's how you create a win-win. Analyzing a property before you buy it is obviously very important. However, what I find that most people just do it wrong. And I know that alone one mistake could cost you tens and thousands of dollars. It could literally cost you your business. And I don't want that to happen to you. So I created a step-by-step property analysis guide sheet to walk you through exactly what to look for to make sure your deal that you're looking at is worth buying. To get the property analysis guide sheet, just go to randyzimnoch.com.